Hi and good evening. Thank you for watching. I'm Shakil 5858. I am Amibuddham. Now the latest headlines from world channels and news agencies.
Purported leak.
February 2.
Five people dead and more than 100,000 have fled their homes in the Los Angeles fires.
It's Armageddon. I'm driving through a war zone right now and I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I'm shocked.
The wreckage of a seaplane which crashed, killing 3 people, retrieved from Rottnest Islands in Thompson Bay. Hiker Hadi Nazari, who survived in bushland for 13 days, thanks the rescuers and volunteers involved in searching for him. And Alex Dimonor on a collision course with reigning champion Yannick Sinner after his name was called in the same quarter of the Australian Open draw. Hello and welcome to ABC News. I'm Joe O'Brien.
Tonight, a special edition of World News Tonight from California. The emergency unfolding here in Los Angeles County. 24 hours into this, you can feel the heat, the smoke. You certainly can see the flames over my shoulder here. Home after home, continuing to burn to the ground. Entire evacuations, the scope of the loss here, unimaginable. Tonight, the apocalyptic scene here on the ground in Southern California. The fires destroying everything in their path. And there is breaking news as we come on the air in the West. We have now learned tonight of a 6th fire, this time in the Hollywood Hills, called the Sunset Fire. What we're learning so far. Tonight, 6 wildfires now burning through Los Angeles, destroying more than 25,000 acres, propelled by wind gusts topping 100 miles per hour.
It is like driving through hell itself down here.
Home after home destroyed by the Palisades fire. The death toll rising tonight. Reports of many significant injuries. The panicked race to escape the flames. Families racing to get out. Some leaving their cars in the street when flames were on top of them. Bulldozers then plowing through the cars to try to get the fire trucks through. Tonight I traveled into the fire zone with a CAL FIRE battalion chief right up into Pacific Palisades. Our interview as we witnessed home after home burning to the ground here. We're now 24 hours into this disaster.
There's just no stopping it when the winds are this strong.
Hundreds of firefighters on the front lines tonight, and now fears some of these major fires could be on the move. Our team across the fire zone and Ginger Z on the strength of these Santa Ana winds and the fire dangers as we head into the night. Also tonight, we're tracking a major winter storm from Texas over to the East Coast. Major snow in areas where they normally don't get it. We'll have the forecast. The other news tonight, police arresting a man allegedly trying to get into the U.S. Capitol with a machete and multiple knives, what we've learned tonight. This evening, the collision at Chicago's O'Hare Airport, an American Airlines plane and a United plane on the taxiway. And tonight, the nation honoring former President Jimmy Carter, now lying in state in the Capitol Rotunda. His funeral to be held at the National Cathedral tomorrow. A special edition of World News Tonight begins now.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Los Angeles.
Tonight, the historic and catastrophic wildfires in Southern California turning deadly after 80,000 people are forced to evacuate their homes. The apocalyptic images. A state of emergency in Los Angeles as thousands of acres burn, impacting one of the most picturesque places in the nation. Multiple Wildfires raging out of control tonight, fueled by hurricane-force winds. The fire in the Pacific Palisades, now the most destructive in the city's history. At least 5 people are dead, an estimated 1,000 structures destroyed. More than 1 million without power. The grounds of the iconic Getty Villa up in flames. The first helicopters and planes taking off to join the fight, and desperate homeowners racing to save their homes with water hoses. Streets choked with abandoned cars last night, now empty. Our team in the fire zone. Also tonight, the new winter storm set to sweep across the country from the south to the northeast. Al Roker is here. President-elect Donald Trump asking the Supreme Court to halt his hush money sentencing set for Friday. The alarming moment, a man with a machete and knives arrested trying to enter the viewing for former President Jimmy Carter at the U.S. Capitol. And late tonight, President-elect Trump arriving to pay his respects. The car blowing through a railroad gate slammed by an oncoming train in Florida. The driver's condition tonight, and the personal loss in California's wildfire disaster. Our correspondent returning to find his childhood home devastated.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
My heart is in my throat.
Frightening, ferocious, and fast-moving flames in Southern California this Wednesday night.
I don't even know how we're going to be able to recover from this.
The evacuations, the overwhelmed firefighters, and the charred neighborhoods. Political power play. What Ontario's premier is proposing to push back on Trump's idea of annexing Canada.
Our country's not for sale. It will never be for sale.
The Liberal leadership contest, who is likely to join the race, and the popular cabinet minister who's not running. And rescuers hoofing it, saving a 700-pound elk tangled in a rope.
Global National with Donna Friesen.
Good evening.
Florida Congressman and incoming National Security Advisor Michael Waltz joins us now. All right, so it's a mess. California's on fire. Joe says he probably would have won. The Obama people think Joe should have given Barack Hussein Obama a medal. And Kamala's going on a world tour. What's going on?
Right. Well, let me tell you the perspective from Mar-a-Lago and President Trump. The entire world literally is reaching out to meet with him, to talk to him. And I can tell you the conversations are saying we can't wait. So, let's look at where Vice President Harris isn't going. She isn't going down to Mexico City. She isn't going down to Central America to deal with the core causes of migration, if you remember that charge. Or how about the cartels? Or how about fentanyl? Or how about the Abraham Accords that we should have been signing the next round of? Instead, we've got the entire Middle East on fire. But for the strength of the Israelis and Bibi to take out Hamas, Hezbollah, and Iran's air defenses. Look, Jesse, we can keep going, but President Trump is ready to come in and clean up the mess once again. If you remember the ISIS caliphate that was on fire in 2015, that we had to clean up, and they're now sitting in prison camps in Syria. He's ready to come clean that mess up once again, and I got to tell you, it's an honor of a lifetime to be a part of helping him. All right, so when
the top stories we're covering. At least 5 people have died and more than 130,000 are under evacuation orders in Los Angeles and California as strong winds continue to fan several major wildfires. Could it be 13th time lucky for Lebanon? The country's parliament is set to make another effort to elect a president this Thursday after 12 failed attempts since 2022. We'll speak to our correspondent in Beirut. And the Israeli military says it's recovered the body of a 53-year-old hostage in a Gaza tunnel, and it's investigating if another set of remains belongs to his son. This as US representatives say a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas is close. Also coming up in business, we'll take a closer look at the business reasoning behind Meta's decision to get rid of third-party fact-checking in the US. To what extent will that decision cut costs for the tech giant? And in perspective, we speak to one of the world's most experienced divers and whose team recently found what they say is the planet's largest coral, a sprawling colony that's in remarkable health.
This is DW News live from Berlin. Deadly wildfires burn out of control in Los Angeles, consuming vast stretches of property. A new fire has broken out in the Hollywood Hills, triggering fresh evacuation orders and threatening iconic landmarks. The fast-moving fires are spreading across multiple neighborhoods. Also coming up, Lloyd Austin makes his last trip to Ramstein Air Base in Germany as U.S. Defense Secretary. He'll meet with Ukraine's allies to beef up the country's air defenses before Donald Trump takes office. And deadly violence following Mozambique's disputed election forces many families to flee into neighboring Malawi. DW talks to Mozambicans who have found refuge.
A very good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on today's programme. The most destructive fire in Los Angeles history. We report from California as the blaze tears through the homes of the rich and famous.
Plus, we get an update from the astronauts who've been stranded on the International Space Station for over 7 months.
It's Thursday, the 9th of January. Your headlines. Over 130,000 people are ordered to evacuate as new fires break out overnight. Fires that have now killed at least 5 people. The hills over Hollywood set ablaze overnight as the fast-moving fire tears through millions of celebrity homes. Millions of dollars worth, excuse me. The fires forced Joe Biden to cancel what would have been his foreign trip, visit Pope in the Vatican. Also ahead, has the UK reached peak obesity? We'll hear why rates could begin falling dramatically. The Foreign Secretary says he won't condemn Donald Trump's military threats against
had towards is the establishment of NATO, and I don't envisage that.
Very good morning to you.
It's 3 p.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 12:30 in New Delhi and 2 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Paul Sirk. At this up, Singapore authorities detained 3 citizens for self-radicalization after they were influenced by the Israel-Hamas conflict and planned to join militant groups. Wildfires rage around Los Angeles, scorching more than 10,000 hectares of land. At least 5 people have been killed and tens of thousands of residents forced to flee. Lawyers for South Korea's embattled President Yoon Suk-yeol say he will accept the Constitutional Court's decision on his impeachment, even if it results in his removal from office.
At least 19 lives have been lost in Chad following an attempted assault on the presidential complex in N'Djamena. In a violent confrontation in Chad, at least 19 people have died after security forces intervened to stop armed fighters from attacking the presidential complex in N'Djamena. Government 21.
Sudan's support forces, RSF, and its proxies are committing genocide in the ongoing civil war in Sudan's military, which has killed tens of thousands and caused a severe humanitarian crisis. Secretary of State Antony Blinken accused the RSF of systematic attacks against civilians, including ethnic-based killings, sexual violence, and obstructing access to life-saving aid. Sanctions have been imposed on RSF leader Mohamed Hamid Danglo and 7 RSF-owned companies, UAE and the UAE as the night arming the RSF evidence suggests otherwise. The conflict, which began in April 2023, has displaced millions and led to famine in part of Sudan.
And if we pull out
no respite for Los Angeles. A 6th fire broke out in iconic Hollywood Hills neighborhood in the early hours of Thursday. Firefighters in the Los Angeles County area have been battling multiple wildfires that have been scorching the city since Tuesday morning. Officials say at least 5 people were killed in the blazes. Fires are spreading at a rapid rate due to the fast wind speed.
We are still facing strong and erratic winds. In Palisades and in Sylmar, we are very much in an active firefight.
Authorities say the air quality has worsened significantly and urge residents of the affected areas to stay indoors and remain alert.
Italian journalist Cecilia Sala, 29, has returned home after nearly 3 weeks in solitary confinement in Iran. She was greeted at Rome's airport on Wednesday by family members and Italian Prime Minister, marking a diplomatic success for Italy's government. Sala, a reporter for Il Foglio, on December 17 for allegedly Islamic law during a routine trip. Tension is evident in famous for its harsh conditions and by cities. Prime Minister Meloni praised the intensive work on diplomatic and intelligence channels that led to Salah's fall. While Iranian authorities denied any connection, Salah's case coincided with the arrest of an Iranian engineer in Italy on charges of aiding an Iran's drone program. It remains unclear if incidents related.
For the 26th World Cup. The 47-year-old's most recent international job was in charge of Mali for 2 years, and he took them to the quarterfinals of the 2023 African. They lost time to Ivory Coast. The former centre-back was born in Abidjan, but won 5 Mali. He spent his career in France, most notably with Lens.
The 7th edition of the Africa Eco Race covered a distance of 468 kilometers, taking participants from Benin to Amoja on the second day in Mauritania. Competitors faced a grueling mix of sand, dune, at 15 minutes and 2 seconds. Benoit Fretin and Philippe Champignet finished second and third respectively. It was very technical at the beginning, sandy, very pretty. There were difficult sections with cattle grass. We were really careful with car. We passed zones with dunes, small dunes, beautiful. Next we attacked the fast tracks. Then I was a bit frustrated because I thought we were heading back to
Thank you for sparing your precious time. This is Amir Shakil. Have a good life. Bye-bye.